One of the best parts about Mario Kart Wii is its track selection. Today I'll be ranking every track in the game, even the retro tracks. So if you enjoy this video, hit that subscribe button and let's get right into this ranking. 32 Desert Hills. This may be a surprise to a lot of y'all, but this track is my least favorite in the game. I once again will take all opportunities to praise this game because having this track as the worst in the game means that the track selection in this game is pretty darn good. Anyways, this track lacks color and the background features just blocks and sandcastles. It also doesn't really offer anything special in track layout besides some annoying turns at the end and literally one hill to trick off of. But maybe at the end of the day, I just don't like sand because it's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere as well. 31 Daisy Circuit. This was originally supposed to be the lowest on the list, but I thought about it more. I have mentioned this many times, but this track has turns that make me cringe, this annoying shortcut, and cones all over the place that literally serve no purpose but to be annoying. Literally, if it wasn't for that beautiful sunset, this track would be the worst of all time. 30 Peach Beach. This track is just not very interesting to me. Sure, it's pretty and relaxing, but it's just that. The cataquacks are there to make it more interesting, but I just find this track a little bit boring. 29 SNES Mario Circuit 3. Oh boy, time to get into the 5 remaining circuit tracks in the game. For many, this one is considered the worst track in the game, but the skinny layout and sharp turns keep the pack close and makes it more interesting, making up for its underwhelming looks. 28 GameCube Mario Circuit. This one is okay. The chain chomp turn is pretty good and the hill section at the end is cool, I guess. 27 Luigi Circuit. The starter track for Mario Kart Wii. It includes a bunch of straightaways, a ramp shortcut, and there's a booster section at the end. Really, this one is higher because it's the first track in the game. 26 Mario Circuit. Seriously, why does the Mario Kart series feature so many tracks that are just in the shape of an 8? Anyways, this one is a major improvement from Luigi Circuit, which is expected because we aren't in the Mushroom Cup anymore. There are Goombas to avoid and a chain chomp halfway through the track, while the background is looking fantastic. 25 Ghost Valley 2. Out of all SNES tracks, this one was a good choice. It's more interesting than the others besides the Bowser's castles, and it's actually really decent in this game. The turns are fun and the shortcut in the middle is really cool. 24 N64 Sherbet Land. This is a pretty decent ice track. Hopping across the cracks in the ice is always fun, the penguins are vibing, and the cave section is pretty cool, pun intended. 23 N64 Mario Raceway. This is a hot take, but Mario Raceway is the best circuit track in Mario Kart Wii. I don't know what it is, but I just enjoy it more. The tricky turns, the music, and the pipe at the end are some highlights. 22 Dry Ruins. I don't have a consistent opinion on this track, so I'll just put it around the middle. This is the jankiest track in the game, but the pillars fall each lap, the music slaps, and it is decently difficult. Just watch out for those bats, they'll get you. 21 GBA Shy Guy Beach. This choice was completely out of nowhere, but I can dig this track. There's pretty scenery, ramps to trick off of, and there are Shy Guys shooting cannonballs from the background. 20 DS Yoshi Falls. I don't understand why this track is so disrespected. Who cares about the shape of the track? There are freaking waterfalls and boosters all over the place. I've always found this one pretty cool, but maybe I'm just crazy. 19 DK's Jungle Parkway. This track makes you feel like you're on a vacation with a pretty sunset, waterfalls, and boats going around. There wasn't really much they could have done, but this track only works with a few vehicles, especially that turn before the jump. The end of the track is pretty interesting as well. A skinny bridge leading to a really cool cave section. 18 Peach Gardens. This track was a really great choice for this game. I really love the amount of chain chomps. Usually there's only one in a track, but there's multiple to avoid throughout the track. Mushrooms are really OP on this track as well. 17 Delfino Square. This is a shocker to people every time, but I'm not the biggest fan of this track. The music is great and it is charming, I must say, but bonking on this track is really unsatisfying and really easy to do if you're bad at video games like me. That bridge at the end is legendary though. 16 Moo Moo Meadows. Moo Moo Meadows is such a special track to me that when I bought Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it was the first track I played. This track features cows crossing the road, ramps to trick off of, and Monty Moles digging around. It's pretty solid. 15 Wario's Gold Mine. This track is a bit lower than expected, but this one was really never my favorite. Those bats at the beginning are kind of annoying, and the dips in the track have the weirdest physics. But I really love avoiding the mine carts. It really adds to difficulty in a fun way. 14 GBA Bowser's Castle 3. No, you are not seeing or hearing things, this is actually here. I'm very biased towards Bowser's Castles, and this one is unique enough for me to see past the fact that it's a GBA track. There are thwomps to avoid, tough turns, and a series of jumps towards the end. I love this track. 13 Toad's Factory. While this track doesn't crack the top 10, it was masterfully planned out beyond anything I could have thought of. We have the crushing machines at the beginning, then it moves on to some conveyor belts moving crates, then there are some more conveyor belts that give you a speed boost, and the track ends off with bulldozers covering speed boosts that makes you steer to the open pads. Amazing design, just not my favorite. 12. GameCube Waluigi Stadium. One of my favorites from Double Dash comes to the rescue for the Wii Retros. It's just as good in this game, actually even better with the trick system. And plus, the section with the piranha planes has half pipes now, which is really cool and completely shifts the way you take on this section. 11. Grumble Volcano. This track is definitely a thriller. You are set on an island with an active volcano that you get to go inside of. The music fits the theme perfectly as well. Plus, there are some moving platforms, fireballs, and fire snakes to spice things up. 10. DK Summit. As a successor to DK Mountain, it does a great job. You shoot out of a cannon to the top of the mountain at a ski resort. After that, you take some half pipes, trick off some bumps in the hill, avoid snow and chasms, and finish off snowboarding with some Shy Guys. One of my favorites from this game. 9. Mushroom Gorge. Not often do you see a mushroom coke course this high on the list, but here you go. The mushroom bounce pads on this track are really fun. It takes the trick mechanic to a whole new level and also makes things interesting because you are so vulnerable. This track will no doubt be forever a classic. 8. Coconut Mall. Speaking of classics, I have Coconut Mall at number 8. Despite its popularity, I don't think this track is top 5 of this game anymore. The music is god tier, but the only exciting part about the track is the cars at the end that are terrible at parking. Gotta give them props for making a shopping mall into such a great racetrack though. 7. Maple Treeway. This is a deceiving number 7 because this game is just stacked. It is a magical autumn day and you are shot into a tree and have to race up and down the branches. There are even wigglers to avoid as well as boost ramps to speed up on. This track is so loved and for good reason. 6. Koopa Cape. I constantly debate with myself whether I like Maple Treeway or Koopa Cape better, but I think Koopa Cape barely edges it out here. I love the beautiful waterfall, rushing water section, and the pipe section, which is the first underwater section ever. Outstanding track. 5. N64 Bowser's Castle. The only non-GBA Bowser's Castle remake to this day. This track somehow got a remake that doubled its greatness. You still have the thwomp in the cell, the following thwomps that ruin your day, the dreadful music, and everything else has returned as well. You could not have ended the game in a better way. 4. DK Mountain. Part of what makes Mario Kart Wii so great is the double dash magic sprinkled in with this track here. The cannon, the journey down the mountain while avoiding boulders, and that bridge at the end. It doesn't get any better than this. Or does it? 3. Moonview Highway. I have one word for you. Chaos. That basically describes this track. It is pure chaos and I love it for that. Blind turns with cars rushing the other way, the opportunity to weave really fast between traffic, and the little things in between. Gotta love it. 2. Bowser's Castle. This track is just a masterpiece. The castle remix from Super Mario Bros. At the beginning while you hop into Bowser's mouth, giving you a bone-chilling roar from Mario 64 while you trick off the shaking floor. From the get-go until the end, there is constant excitement. Continuing on, there are many sharp turns and thwomps leading to a room with a half-pipe section where you avoid exploding fireballs from Mecha Bowser. To end off this track, there are lava geysers that you can trick off as well. Perfect start to finish, but there is one more, so let's head into the obvious, number 1. I mean, was anyone surprised by this? The most infamous track of all time is also the best track in this game. It has great music while you try not to fall to your doom. To start, you go down the steepest slope ever, attempting to get the most speed possible and not getting bumped off. Next, you get as many tricks as possible on this magic wavy road leading to an 8 that you can race around or jump over with enough speed. Following that up, there's an impossible turn that requires an insane amount of practice to pull off consistently. After getting shot through a star cannon, you boost off this zipper and pull off some tricky maneuvers and then end off with another insanely difficult turn. An absolute mission. And guys, that's my list. Thank you so much for watching. I will see y'all in the next one. Have a good one.